I never see the lights out. They get me overdrive. Fancy on a fast car. This is how you make me feel. Don't stress me now. I got the overdose. I'm feeling it in my bones. And if you say that I'm lying to you, these habits are killing me. I wish I could fall asleep. The problem is you.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's been almost 2 years, almost, since we have heard anything at all about Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. Are they good? Are they going to testify next year, or what's going on with the trial next year? It's been 2 years since the alleged murder of four University of Idaho students in their off-campus home, guys. And the two roommates who survived the ordeal have maintained a low profile. Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen were both at home when the alleged killer, guys, not the killer, the alleged killer, the criminology student Brian Koberger, allegedly tried to sneak into the house in Moscow on November 13th, 2022. He allegedly stabbed their roommates, Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xander Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin to death in their beds. Now, we've heard in their beds. They were asleep. We've heard this and heard this and heard this. And, there's no evidence to show that they were actually in their beds because Xander was awake on TikTok. Xander had a DoorDash order. So we don't know if they were asleep or in their bedrooms or in their beds. We don't know that. She reported to authorities that she saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask walking towards the home's back exit shortly after 4 a.m. Okay, shortly after 4 a.m. It doesn't say 4:10, 4:20, 4:25. It's shortly after 4 a.m. A police report states the two women who also supposedly texting each other as the murders were taking place. I didn't stutter, guys. Were also supposedly texting each other as the murders were taking place and had an onslaught of hatred online after it was shown that no one called 911 for multiple hours after the quadruple slaying happened. Since then, the two roommates, it doesn't say surviving roommates, guys, the two roommates who were spared have maintained low profiles, with Mortensen allegedly isolating herself. She was briefly spotted following the murders running close by to her parents' home. However, she has evaded media attention since. Private investigator Ruben Appelman spoke to News Nation and said in the beginning weeks after those homicides, she was basically dogpiled on social media. This was part of the trauma that she experienced. Dylan herself has retreated from the public eye. Very few people see her. Mortensen's father supposedly told Appelman that his daughter was now in trauma therapy of sorts and getting help from the spiritual community. She's doing what she can without going into public. So basically, guys, DM has turned into a hermit. 21-year-old Funk, who maintains a low profile and lives in Nevada, and is only heard from when her attorneys filed a motion earlier this year to dismiss a subpoena that would force her to testify as part of the murder suspect Brian Koberger's defense. Yet Funk later agreed to sit down for an interview with the suspect's attorneys, and it is unclear if this happened or what came out of it. In fact, it remains a mystery as to why Funk and Mortensen took such a long time to call the police on the night of the slayings. Speaking to the New York Post in January, an Idaho law enforcement source said, "We don't know if it was an issue of intoxication or of fear." You even have the police chiming in, wanting to know why they didn't call 911. According to a newly released police affidavit, the PCA, Mortensen is thought to have heard Gonzalez saying, "There's someone here." Then was the sound of crying from Cornotto's room and a male voice ringing out, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Well, we all know that wasn't Kaylee saying there's someone here. Xana was awake and on TikTok. Xana had a DoorDash order. Xana's DoorDash order was found in the kitchen, so she could have looked over and saw that backsliding glass door open, and "there's someone here" wasn't screamed, so it was more than likely Xana saying "there's someone here," because in the PCA, guys, Brett Payne totally contradicts what Dylan said. Dylan said she thought it was Gonzalez that said someone's here. And then Brett Payne instantly said it could have been Cornotto because she was awake on TikTok and had DoorDash orders. So Brett Payne tried to contradict what Dylan said or stated. Early police reports indicate that the roommates who resided on the first floor and second floors of the house had friends arrive at the scene before one of them eventually called 911. Police said the duo were quickly ruled out as suspects. Mind you, quickly ruled out as suspects. Why so quick? In December, Mortensen and Funk got matching tattoos on the back of their elbows in commemoration of the murdered roommates. Not in remembrance, guys. In commemoration of their murdered roommates. The first letter of each of their friends' first names was encircled by angel wings. Mortensen said her 4 roommates changed the way I look at life. See, notice I changed the way I look at life. Funk wrote that the victims were all gifts to this world in your own special way. And it just won't be the same without you. Are any of you guys buying this dribble? Because I surely am not. I am not buying it for 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. I'm not buying it. What's going on in this case? Honestly, sincerely, what's going on in this case, guys? Just like why Bethany Funk never witnessed the roommate horrors. One of the surviving roommates of the Forest Lane University of Idaho students never witnessed the gruesome aftermath of the killings, according to a new report. Okay, so was she there? Was she not there? What's going on? Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen survived the November 13th, 2022 slayings of their roommates. Now, I wouldn't say survived. Of their roommates, Kaylee Gonzalez, Maddie Mogan, Xander Kernodle, and their rental house in Moscow, Idaho. Kernodle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, was also killed. An arrest was made weeks later on December 30th. Brian Koberger, 28, who at the time was a doctoral candidate at Washington State University in nearby Pullman. He is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. He has not entered a plea, but a lawyer who represented him previously said he was eager to be exonerated. Eager to be exonerated. The students were slain on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the house, guys, but Funk was staying in the basement on the night of the killings. Well, we all know, guys, and it was a 3-level house, a tri-level house. So you had a 1st floor, a 2nd floor, and a 3rd floor. I don't get where they're stating that Bethany was in the basement. She left the home and was outside in the chaos in the front of the house, but never did go to that 2nd floor. Never did she see the carnage. Ashley Banfield said, citing the unnamed source, she wasn't part of the discovery of the bodies. She was the only one living in the basement at that point, and that technically it wasn't a basement; it was a tri-level house, so 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor. I don't know where they get the basement from, unless they considered that lower level the basement. Mortensen, however, stayed in a bedroom on the 2nd floor. She told investigators that she saw a masked man in the home around the time they believe the killings occurred, according to a probable cause affidavit that was unsealed in January. The affidavit detailed the chilling encounter, noting that Mortensen said she had opened her door after she heard crying and saw a man with bushy eyebrows and dressed in black with a mask over his nose and mouth walking towards her. She froze, the affidavit said, and the man walked to a sliding glass door. Then she locked herself in her room. Okay, if she froze in quote unquote frozen shock phase, how would she have the wherewithal to shut her door and lock it? Explain that to me, guys. Really, explain it to me. A breakthrough in the case came later in November after the Moscow Police Department asked regional law enforcement to look for a white Hyundai Elantra. On November 29th, the WSU police officer found a 2015 white Elantra registered to Coburger after running a query for Elantras on campus. The same day, another campus officer located the vehicle parked at Coburger's apartment complex, and a check came back showing it had Washington state tags. Corporal Brett Payne, the lead investigator on the case, wrote in the affidavit that this led him to look at Coburger's driver's license, which described him as 6 foot tall, 185 pounds, and that his license photo showed him with bushy eyebrows. Woohoo! Bushy eyebrows, big deal. Those details were consistent with the description given to Mortensen. By Mortensen, my apologies. Because of this non-dissemination order, guys, we really don't know what's going on in this case. Are we really going to believe, about Dylan and Bethany? And I mean, are we really going to let them dupe us with this mainstream media narrative that they've got going on? And that's all it is, guys. It's a media narrative. That's all it is. It's a mainstream media narrative to frame somebody for the murders because of U of I. And we all know how greedy the University of Idaho is. We all know how greedy Scott Green is. I mean, heck, instead of putting the memorial garden on the site of 1122 King Road, what does this man do? He puts it on the campus, makes it smaller, and he's going to build low-income student housing right at the site where Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan lost their lives. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be another off-campus sorority home or off-campus fraternity home. And it just makes you wonder, guys, why the university was throwing such a fit about the reward posters being put up on their campus, all because of Rush Week. Don't they care about these victims? Do all they care about is their sororities and fraternities and Rush Week? Like always, guys, like, subscribe, and channel. Hit the bell notification for any new uploads. I'll be going live tomorrow night, talking about the Noah Prescrow case, and I'll be doing some other cases too. I just haven't figured out which ones yet. But everyone have a good Wednesday, and this is TCC out.
I never see the lights out. They get me overdrive. Fancy on a fast car. This is